Continue here. But this is out of curiosity for the guitar player. You, 2009, how did it go there? I remember you didn't even participate. It was that year. The previous year, the winner was Gustavo Guerra. And how was it for you there?
I don't even know what position I got because they spoke everything in English. I didn't understand anything there, but Mateus, I wasn't there with the expectation of winning. I wanted to participate for myself. A fried fish eater from Santander, Maranhão, being at a world event in London for me, that is already a victory, you know?
And it was interesting for Brazilians to have such a prominent role in a competition in London, right? That's right. It's a funny thing, isn't it?
The year I went, Gustavo de Pado from Rio de Janeiro also went with me.
He came here and talked about this thing, this presentation there, that he thinks he didn't do well and all.
I didn't either. According to the organizer, James, he said that if I had played Isabella, I would have gotten a better position. But I said, man, no. I was speaking using a little translator, you know? My English, I can manage to say what I want with a lot of difficulty, but it's understandable. So I explained that. I wasn't too worried about winning. If I won, great, but I just wanted to participate. It's such an important event. For me, just being there was already very fulfilling. So really, Isabella is a song that has its structure is very nice. It's quite dynamic, starts slow, builds up. It has a really nice dynamic. It tells a great story. Honestly, between it and the song I played there, Isabella would indeed be a better choice, but I tell you, I don't really mind. In that kind of situation, like, oh, I lost the guitar contest or whatever, not at all. Even today, I tell this story with the greatest pride. I participated in a world guitar event where 10 guys from around the world were there. It was like a Tower of Babel, everyone speaking a different language. The winner was Jack Tamara, he's Thai. I met him there at Music China. Actually, I didn't meet him in person. He took a picture of me while I was playing, then he sent it to me later on Instagram, saying he saw me. But he missed the chance to meet me because there was a crowd taking pictures at the time. And I said, man, you just had to come over, for God's sake, dude. If I saw you from afar, I would shout to call you over. For sure, cool, very cool.
Man, let's go. Just to talk about this study part, right? You said you were self-taught, right? Your whole life seeking to listen, imitate, learn things from booklets. Then there was that time with video lessons that you also had access to. And, man, in recent years, how do you study? I know adult life is something else. Yeah. Let's put it this way, man. What have you been studying in recent years?
Mateus, lately I try to vary my phrasing a bit more. I also try to study with some colleagues, right? Oh, I have some content from Andre Hernandez. Andre Hernandez is a guy I have a lot of affection for. I have some of his content on guitar fusion. I learned some phrases from Fulvio Oliveira as well on guitar fusion. I also have one on tapping by Andre Hernandez, which is really cool. Anyone who wants to buy it, go for it because it's really good content. There's one that I also want to study. I was even talking to you about it from Mateus Schaffer, Boss. It's that fake slide thing that's also used a lot. So it's not that I want to, it's not that I want to become a specialist in that, but it's always nice. We learn something different to get out of what we're already used to, right? Stop going around in circles a bit and explore outside.
But you've never studied like that. I'm going to study functional harmony. I'm not going to study. There are days, I know what a major C is.
A C with a major seventh, a C, 7+, right? A little harmony there. But don't ask me to play Brazilian music, bossa nova. My son knows more about intricate music, like more than I do. Yeah, Renan, he already plays music that's all intricate, full of chords. He just starts playing. I remember I saw, like, Renan. I taught him what he needed to learn. I said, Renan, this is it, look. From here on. Now, from here, you can research. The foundation is this, you understand? Now, from here on,
you go ahead. So this thing about modes, you also know about?
You know, it's intuitive, this thing about modes. I even understand it there, but also, Mateus, I've never composed something like, oh, I'm going to compose this phrase right here thinking in the Phrygian mode with a minor second that will give a sound like this, like that. No. No. That one I was telling you about in the car, look, this song, right, then I just played it by ear. Everything. Look, it turned out nice. Good thing I recorded it. Then I go back, I listen. Okay, now I'm going to do it with the bass following along. Then it became a riff. If there's a minor second. And it turned into something in the Phrygian mode. Cool. But that's not what I thought. No.
But do you know what the Mixolydian mode is, for example?
Yes, that's the Mixolydian. A major scale that has a minor seventh.
There's Gyrio too.
Lydian. That one I can handle. If it's the scales, all of them. In my course there, I show everyone all of them. Now like this, in my course, I make it very clear right away. Guys, this is how it works. How the scales work, the fingering shape is this one here. I first show the theory, right? Because sometimes people think, oh, I want to learn the Dorian mode shape. No, don't focus on the Dorian mode. You have to understand that it's a minor scale that will have a major sixth. You have to understand this. It's a minor scale with the difference. The natural minor scale has a major sixth. Now, how are you going to proceed there? You can play this scale on just one string. Now, how are you going to do it on the decoy? Then it's nice to know some shapes where you will have better fluency, to play faster, to make a shift in the neck region.
But then, even though you haven't studied harmony, intervals, I know, right? I've been studying harmonic field.
Yes, I've been learning on my own, the hard way, and it takes time. That's why I tell people on the internet that it's always good to have someone to teach. Because I really wasted a lot of time since there was no one to teach me. When I started having access to the internet, that's when I began to study. It's nice to study through the internet via Google, YouTube, and such when you at least have a basic understanding. Because then you'll know how to look for what you really need. It's different from someone who knows nothing and goes out looking for information, then the information comes in all disordered. You understand? So, I already have some knowledge about modes. I already have a good grasp of mechanics. So it's easier for me to study with colleagues who are already proficient. From another style, I can already get some ideas from Fulvio about fusion guitar, from Andre Hernandez, some ideas from you too, because your reasoning is already different from mine. So since I already have a good technique, it's easier for me to study a bit of your knowledge as well. It's different from someone who is starting from scratch, who knows nothing. Barely learned the major scale and already wants to say, oh, I want to play blues. Because blues is easy. Who said blues is easy? People get confused because the harmony is simple, it's pentatonic, but it's not.
No, because it's a language of life.
Yes, it's a language of life.
But I'm asking you this, man, because historically, the guitar, especially in the beginning, are you going to take it there? In the 50s and 60s, the guitarists who are our heroes, they didn't really know what they were doing in theoretical terms, right? Especially because the guitar is a very rebellious instrument. It doesn't have that initial study connection. Things only got organized later, right? So it's very natural that many guitarists don't have much depth in terms of explaining what is being done in writing, on paper, in vocal culture.
But that I came to understand only after I had already done. Most of my compositions, Isabella had already done most of from the Guitarberto era. I didn't know anything.
Not even about intervals, nothing?
No. Third interval, I knew because of the Bona period, right? Because I studied wind instruments, so I even had a class on third intervals. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, ti, a, do, di. Then fourth interval. In fact, there was a time when there was nothing to study. I would take the Bona and practice on the guitar. Then later, with fourths, with fifths, but it wasn't something focused on the guitar, So after a long time, once there was better content available on the internet, that's when I really started to understand how the modes worked. Do you know how I used to do it? Right at the very beginning, to try to improvise, I would think like this. Let's say I'm playing here in C major, the harmonic field of C. So there's a C major, an F major, G major, back to C. I thought it's in C major, C scale. C, F, G, A, B. I would go to F, then I had to play exactly the scale as if it were an F Ionian. You understand? Already respecting its accidentals there, which would be a B flat.
Understand.
Then I thought I had to do that. It's not that I would touch that B flat. Bam. Then it would hit that wrong note. I was like, why does it go wrong? Then I would just stay there going up and down just on the C while the other harmonies were playing. Then I thought it's better if I stay on this one, but I didn't understand why.
Just knowing that by ear it sounded better?
Yeah. Then later I came to understand, oh no. So what mode is this? The chord is there, but I'm playing the scale of this one. Oh, it's because that's when I started to understand. But I still didn't understand the shapes, the way to organize them. For me, the idea of learning modes, those fingerings there, helped me a lot with horizontal phrasing. Because I could already see all of them there, you know? Then I could do it on any string, whether it was on the lower strings or the higher ones. So I kept practicing that up and down just to map the fretboard more, you know? Now, yes, for me to work like, oh, I'm doing an improv right here out of nowhere. I'm going to throw in a Phrygian to get a sound like this. I don't know. The times I tried to compose something using this technical reasoning, it didn't turn out well, no. Nothing good came out of it. But when I did that more intuitive thing, thinking of the melody first, look, Isabella was like this, first in my head. Then I already thinking here and making a little harmony here. Oh, wow, it's turning out nice. Then I would record it right away and keep going. But I would think I wouldn't be reasoning within a harmonic field, within a mode. No, I would think and play. Because if I just stay there playing with my fingers, it's just motor memory. It's just the fingers playing the guitarist's lick, going up and down the pentatonic scale, right? Now, it's cool, especially to create the melodic line, to develop the theme. I think it's better, at least that's how I do it. I prefer to think more about the melody in my head.
Yes, you activate the repertoire of ideas you have based on your influences, and you pick from there, right? Bringing it because it's the side. We always want to play intuitively. We don't want to think and play.
Exactly. And of course, it always ends up leaking a little from the influences, right? What we were talking about before, about the influences up to that time when you're playing a lot of your guitar hero. There was a time when I played a lot of Mistino Porli,